Hello and welcome to the second part of the pop-up book tutorial. Before we start with the actual thing, let me just go quickly throughout the trigonometry, sine, cosine and tangent. I did use a little bit of trigonometry in the first part of this tutorial, and now I'm going to go a little bit more in details, but I'm not going to give you any lesson on trigonometry because it would be boring and it would be long and quite hard for me to explain. So basically we have quite a few, there is quite a few resources online, to help you understand how trigonometry and how everything works. As you can see in here, you can go in there, or you've got the all famous Dan Eberts at motionscript.com, where you can get a lot of reference on sine, cosine and trigonometry and everything, so that can really help you understand how it works. However, I have also downloaded a project that is provided in here, as far as I can tell. Yeah, it's provided in here for the from this guy in here, that you can get into After Effects. Basically, it's here to show you the relation between angle, sine and cosine, and also right angle triangle, because we're going to use a lot of those in the second part of the tutorial. So I'm not going to explain how the expressions work, because, well, then again, there is a lot of them and it's quite complex and quite tedious to explain. So the idea is to have some kind of suspension of disbelief and believe that what I'm telling you is true and it's been verified, has been checked, and it works. If you want to know more, then you'll have to make your own research. I'm sorry about that, but that's the only way I guess I can get into that trigonometry thing. It's a little bit complex. So yeah, so you can basically download this project that will help you understand a little bit. It helped me because I had to go back into trigonometry before I started, because I knew I was going to need trigonometry, but I forgot about all this. So I used a lot of this website and this website to help me understand again how trigonometry was working. So, well, this is how it works basically. So now let's get to the real thing. Now we're going to create the pop-up itself. The idea for the pop-up, first, what we're going to do is that we're going to deactivate all the layers that we don't need. We only need basically two layers. We need this one, and we also need, let's even change the colors another time, seafoams, so that we know that they are different. So, and we don't need this one, you don't need this one. Okay, don't need the cover anymore. Well, we don't need those. They were just there to show you. So we don't need those. We just need to keep this one. Okay, we don't need this one as well. And we need, so that's the other page, because we need basically the two page on top here, and we don't need all those other layers. So let's activate the shy layer. But they're still here. We can't see them here, but they're still there. So what we're going to do is going to select all the shy layers here and deactivate them. Deactivate and deactivate. So that makes the computer, that makes it a little bit faster, because otherwise it was starting to get slow, because we have 66 layers right now, and they are quite big, so It's quite intensive. And let's hide them once again. So we only have those two layers. This that we can keep. We're going to keep it at for the moment. We're still going to keep it, but we're going to keep it visible. But in the end, we will be able just to keep it that way, and we can get rid of that. Actually, we're going to keep it as well, just because I'll need this layer later for other demonstration purposes. So let's create a pop-up book. Let's create a pop-up. Now let's have a new solid. Let's make it 600 by 200. Okay, that's going to be our first pop-up object, and then we'll be able to replace that object into something else, an image, a video, anything. So that's basically it. Let's make it 3D and let's link it to global controls. No, actually, let's link it to the object controls. It's even better. Okay, let's move the anchor point to at the bottom, and let's make it stand up. There you go, 90, and oh, sorry about that. Let's make it, and there you go. Perfect. So it's right there. It's right there with the pop-up book open, and let's just double click on it. Well, actually, let's redo it. I did it wrong. Let's create another layer, but the width is supposed to be 200 and the height is supposed to be 600. Sorry about that. There you go. Let's make it 3D. Let's move it to the bottom. 600. And let's raise it. Okay. 90. No, let's put it. Let's make sure it's 90. Let's link it to the global controls for the moment. And let's, if I just double clicked on the layer, let's create a rectangle mask. It's half of it. And let's go back here and let's move it there. And let's link, well, we're probably also going to change the color. I don't like the color here. It's the same color, split the difference, and I want a different color to be able to differentiate those. Let's make it like dark orange, deep orange, it works too. Okay, deep orange, and let's link that deep orange to the page it's sitting on, and let's duplicate it. Let's change the transfer mode of the mode of the mask to subtract, so that now we have the pop-up object back as a whole again. And this one, let's link it to the other page. So what we have now is two parts of the same layer. One, well, then again, some mistake. So this one should be linked. This one should be linked to that page. There you go. This one is linked to that page, and this one should be linked to that page. There you go, perfect. So we have something like this and something like that. Okay, all good. Let's link this part in here, so I will wait. So now you have this opening and closing, but of course we need them to be able to fold and unfold regarding to that angle, to the angle of the page. 180. Okay. So first, let's open the rotation. Let's link this one. That's basically it. Now let's do that again. Let's bring those two. We just want to link one of those rotation. Okay. And in here, rotation. There you go. Perfect. So now, let me show you. So like this you have, if you go to front, you have them mirror the action with the angle. Okay, like this, as you can see, probably a little bit better. There you go. And let's also link the Y rotation to this. And let's also link the scale, because if you want to change the scale of your layer this way, you just have to move to change one scale and the other follows. And I've also linked the Y rotation. And that was not the right one. It was the X rotation. I need to link this one. Okay. So X rotation. So the idea, when I was trying to find out how pop-up books were working and how everything was working together, I worked quite a long time to be able to find a few stuff. So one of the things I found is that when the page is open, halfway like this, I realized that I was trying to find the relation between the angle of the page and the angle of the pop-up object angle regarding the center of the book. Like if I show you the front view, and if I open like this, there is this. I knew that there was a relation between all those angles, and when I was trying to find out that relation, I've realized that when the book is open right in the middle, I realized that they were always in the middle. They were always aligned with split the difference. So let me just show you. Always exactly at exactly like that. And one was definitely mirroring the other, so that was making my job way easier, as you can see. And it's exactly what it was supposed to be. And if you changed like the angle of the in here, you needed to change hold on. You need to change also the angle the pop-up object was supposed to rotate. Okay? So what we're going to do now is that we're going to link all those properties here, like the object angle, the height, and everything else, to those layers. So to start with, we're going to reopen completely our book and reset the rotation in here so that it's a little bit easier and more obvious for you guys. Okay, so first what I like to do also is lock those two here. So you can, I'm locking the global controls here, and I bring back the object controls by pressing F3. So you have two effect control panel, and I'm moving this one down here and right under, because we are going to need page angle, but we're also going to need all those sliders and all those things to link everything together. So and they're both locked, so every time, even if you click on something else, they stay here. And we're not really going to use any other effects for the moment, so we don't really need the effect control panel other for those two. Okay, now we need to link the object angle. We actually need to link this. What we're interested in is in this property here. We're not interested into this one or this one. So same deal as before. Let's link back those two properties to their original values, and let's link this to this one. There you go. So now you can easily animate this. What we are going to do as well is adding this. This will basically help you make it a little bit so like this. So if you got like 90, so if you put in 90, so you know that's 90 degree regarding this line. So if you're watching from a front view, you've got this line, and this one is 90 degree from, is 90 degree. It makes a 90 degree angle with this line. So here and here. So that's why I add minus 90, and all my other calculations are based on that. So that's the way it goes. We can, just like we did here, we can also use something to avoid problems, because you don't want the pop-up to go any further than this, any further than 180, any lower than 0. So well, it's going to be exactly the same expression. So we can copy and paste it from the page angle into the object angle. There you go. And now can't go any further. It's just security. basically. Okay, now let's link the height of the pop-up to its object. So there you go. There you go. Dot height. So it's 600, and if you check in here, you can see that the solid in here is 600 high. All good. There you go. Let's go back to this. As I did before, I'm going to copy and paste the expression from my text. From my text file, I'm going to copy the expression, which is the expression B in here. So let's copy and paste it here. There you go. And to show you how it works, we're going to switch to the bottom view. Well, to show you how it works, what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate that layer in here and basically go back to an active view. First of all, the size of that circle, that shape layer, is going to be the height of the object. Don't forget to multiply it by 2. Well, that's 0, but it's not supposed to be 0. Oh, because I copied it to the wrong. I copied the B equation to the wrong one. So let's just fix that. Dot height. There you go. If you go to the bottom view, you can see that the circle is the same height as the pop-up object. And now what I'm also going to do with this is the rotation. So that's this rotation here. I'm going to link it to the object angle here. There you go. If you go to the, and I think, hold on. And we're also going to add 90 degrees. Well, that produces the same result, so that's okay. So if you go back to the bottom view, so now what we have here is an ellipse. We don't have, from the bottom view, we don't see a circle, we see an ellipse, and that's also going to be like quite a major thing into, you know, solving all the equations. I use a lot the ellipse. Well, I didn't know anything about the ellipse before that, and I made a lot of research, and I found a lot about them. So that's why I had those. Let me find this. Okay, that's here, and I did this image here. Well, so you had this circle and this triangle to explain how trigonometry was working, and there is also an ellipse here, and with the main formula that helped me resolving the whole problem. So what an ellipse is basically is, it's a circle view from a certain angle. Here you have a look, you look at the circle from a straight angle, but this one, you know, it's like if you look at it from a certain angle, and it appears that, you know, those the ellipse doesn't change. Here the circle doesn't change from its diameter here, but, you know, gets smaller in here. So as you can see, let me show you what I mean. So you've got, I mean, from here, it's a circle, but from here, as you can see, here when you go to 90 degree, it's a perfect circle, but once you start to make it rotate, it changes into something else. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is add the expression, the B equation again to the right one. Okay, and sometimes happens that you make mistake, and you're creating a new white solid just to show you what it does. Okay, so B, and once again you link it to the global controls. It's B, and you just rotate it so that it faces us. Okay, and the position in X in here. Let's just link this to this. So what happens here? It's not supposed to do that. Maybe that's because of this. There you go. Well, so as you can see, what B does is calculate the distance from here to here. So if you change like the object angle, as you can see, it follows exactly the ellipse when it's a circle or when it's a straight line. In here. So okay, next one, we're going to add the expression T. So this is definitely the most complicated equation I had to find. So let me just show you this one. T is this one, as you can see. So it's quite complex, and basically what it does, it helps you trying to find the coordinates of this point here. It's a point that is on an ellipse, and what we know. So we already know this, which is the height of the pop-up, as you know, because this is this, and we just calculated this in here because we've got the distance from here to here, and we know this, which is this. Okay, here it's 180, but if you go back here, and if you close like this, if you want something a little bit closer to what we see here, this angle is this angle, and so we already know it. So what we're going to have, so let me just open it once again, and so then we have this distance, and once we have this distance, it's easy to get this, and so on and so on, and we will be able to get in the end the rotation we are looking for. So okay, is that good? So if I want to show you how it works, I can also create a new solid. So this time we are going to make it probably 100 by 10. Let's make it 3D, and let's link it once again to the global controls now. And so if we go like active camera, yes, let's move it 0 here. Let's link the Y rotation to the page angle and divide it by 2, so that we have exactly something like split the difference, and link the scale. So link the scale to the t, to the value t that we just found. And there you go with 1 and 2, and link this one to this one. So of course it's 600 right now. Let's go back to the bottom view. There you go. So you have perfect. You have this solid that is basically extend up to the ellipse, basically the outside of the ellipse. And if you change the angle of the ellipse, of the circle, then it keeps on following. It looks like it doesn't follow, because what we see here is split the difference, and we can actually get just, okay, there you go, and now it works. Split the difference. There you go. Perfect. And it follows. Because the reason why it works is because I created a solid that is actually 100 pixel wide. So 100 pixel wide is 100%. So I can scale it up or scale it down based on the number of pixels. The percentage and the number of pixels are exactly the same. So I can scale it up and down really easily. Like this. Okay, so let's move on to X. So X, same deal here. Let's copy and paste the expression. Okay, to show you how X works, I'm also going to create a new solid, this time 50 by 50. Let's make it 3D, link it to global controls, and let's rotate it so that it faces us. There you go. And again, separate dimensions, and link our new friend to X. As you can see, there you go, it's perfect. It is absolutely perfect. And if you move it so that it's a little bit more obvious, we're going to move also to apply, to calculate really quickly the this time the Z position, but it would be like X and Y. But here, in this case, it's X, it's the Z position, because we are looking at it from under the whole thing. So you have to think in 3 dimensions and see that we're looking from under, we're looking up at the whole thing. So to calculate that, it's really easy. We just need to take the X expression, which is object control X. That would be it. That would be this one. This one, and let's apply to Z. So it's not going to work the first time. So what we're going to do, remember that we want to calculate the other coordinate. So we're going, for the first coordinate we use the cosine, and now we're going to use a sine. Of course, it doesn't work because t doesn't know t. So we're going to link t to this one. Well, and we need to multiply it by -1, and there you go. So you have like the two coordinates of the point on that ellipse. If we move it like that, it moves, it follows perfectly. As you can see, anything, it works. So now what we're going to do is move from the bottom view to the front view and add the A equation that we can find here. Let's copy and paste it. There you go. And to show you how it works, what we're going to do, first let's keep it that way. First, let's go back to the bottom view and let's move our pop-up to the right position. So as I told you, they have to align in here in the middle. Okay. If we go to the active camera, as you can see, it's perfect. It's right there. Okay, and now let's move to the top view and let's duplicate this solid, which was the solid that we used that is linked to T in here. Let's duplicate it. Let's put it above all the rest because it's the latest one. And now, rather than being linked to the page angle, let's link it to the object angle in here. There you go. And rather than linking it to the equation T, we're going to link it to A. There you go. If we go now to a front view, that's the one. Okay, object angle. What's wrong? It's supposed to be like this. Hold on. Let me just do. Oh, yeah, and I did it, and I linked it to the wrong one. It's the Z rotation. We want to link this one, this rotation here. So let's just link this to this, the Z rotation to this, and now there you go. And to make it a little bit more obvious, let's just change one thing, and it will all look clear. Let's divide the value of A, which is 882. Here, let's divide it by 2. And now, as you can see, we've got this. We've got this length from the front view. So now that we have this and we have this, so we can either calculate this or this, which will help us knowing what angle to give to that, what angle to give to make it, to make it work. So now, what I'm going to do is go again into my text file and grab that expression here, X rotation, and that should do the trick. And so this one, you're going to put it in here. So I'll click on the stopwatch, copy and paste, and suddenly, voila, it works. As you can see, you open and close. There you go. And even here, well, here it's not working really well, but we're going to fix that in a second. But as you can see, it works perfectly. Whatever the angle, okay? So now to fix this, that's not a a big deal to fix this. What we're going to do is go into this little thing here, and let's just make it a little bit. There you go. So let's add a condition here. So if yes, I know it's not working, so let's make this a little bit bigger. So if the object angle is well, higher than 90 degrees, so then it's going to be not this exactly. Copy and paste, but not -1. And if it's something else, then it's going to be this. And that should do the trick. There you go. So now, whatever you do, it works. So whatever the value, in here or in here, you've got a right angle every time. So there you go. There you go. It hopefully it will be clear to you. Well, I'm sorry if I wasn't able to really explain everything in detail, but trigonometry is quite a complex subject, and when you're not a math teacher, it's a little bit complex to really explain what everything is about. So I was probably a little bit quick on all the expression and how I got those expressions, but I hope that I was able to show you a lot of, at least a way to build yourself, so that you can build yourself this thing. And since I will make that text file available for everyone, so I hope that you will be able to create your own pop-up books. But it will not be easy, but I think this is definitely worth it. Just one last thing I wanted to show you. If you want to have something a little bit more exciting than just this plain stupid solid, you can add. What you can do is, let me show you. Okay, let's probably. Okay, now it's a little bit easier. Let's get rid of that because we don't need it for the moment. And what I have here is that I have a few other layers that you can use. So I've got a video here, or an image that I created in Photoshop, based on a photograph of a Tory that I found on the internet, and I added like a little bit the idea of a cutout thing and a little paper, just like if it has been cut out from a newspaper or from a magazine. And what you can do so is you can basically replace the layer from another one. So you have to select the layer where you want to replace, and hold Alt and drag and drop the new layer you want. There you go. And you can do the same here for the second one, and it should update everything. It's a little bit big now, but if you go there, it should be working. So it's also, as you can see, it's also the reason why I wanted to create a book that has some thickness to it, because then you avoid dealing with the problems of layers being, occupying the same place, and then the one that is on top is not necessarily the one you want to be on top. So, well, there you go. There you go. It's floating a little bit too much above the page, but I guess that you can change that quite easily. Right there, if you go to the bottom view in here, you can change it quite easily. Do the same for this one. Just make sure that they are both aligned. There you go. And if you go back here to the active camera, you can still open and close it, and of course you can if you bring back the object angle here, you can of course change it. Open and close works. You can update, and if you want to have more than one object, what you can do is basically duplicate the two layers, the two layers of your pop-up, and as well as the object control. Duplicate those, move them down. They're still right here, and what you need to do though is update all the expression from here, as well as this one is not, because for example the height here is still linked to the other object, to this one, and you want to link this one to, well, whatever, this one, and height. Okay, well, for the moment they're exactly the same, but as you can see, if you change, let's change with the Tory with this video file here and there. Okay, and what you're going to need, so first of all, in here, that's not object controls, but object controls 2. And I think what we need also object controls 2. And that should be it, as long as this layer as well. There's another bug from After Effects when you update this. Well, this is deep orange, sorry, 3. That's not really the case, but it's not really important. And I think all the rest are staying the same. So if you go and change this, as you can see, okay. I think you need to update this one. Let's just try. Just need to make sure that everything's okay. Yep, there's a problem with the link here, so you probably need just, oh yeah, because it still says deep orange solid 3. That's the, and you need to update also the second part of the pop-up object here. Well, you need to basically check all the expressions of the duplicate layers that you did. Okay, so if I make it a little bit bigger, yeah, that's good. And if I rotate those two, yeah, they work. And now, okay, and now if you want to open and close, that should work. Well, it's still not working on this one. Why is it not working? Let's just check. I guess this is good. Okay, 3. Oh, object controls, I forgot to fix this one as well. So that should be, that should do it now. There you go. Didn't update this part of the expression here. So, okay, let's make it a little bit wider angle, and there you go. Opens and close, and it's still basically, you can still change everything that you want, the angle, and it's always working. Well, I think that's probably it. There is probably a lot of things you can do to make it look even cooler. So now we can even bring everything back, and now you have a real pop-up book. With the After Effects problem. What you can do too is probably not show all those visual aids that I used to show you how it was working. And now you've got the whole thing working and closing. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you will be able to create some pop-up books of your own, because it's, as I told you, it's not easy, but it really makes it really worth it, and it really makes can really make some great videos. So thank you, and we'll try to see you next time with a hopefully easier tutorial. Bye!